Welcome to the Off Label Podcast, your twice weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. I am out of town this week here, but we will still be doing the show as best as I can possibly throw it together. I do apologize, K Bean, but hey, at least I brought most of my equipment this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get into a lot of stories here, but we're going to cover major Trump assassination, an attempt on his life. For that, I'm flustered today. But yeah, we'll be talking about the assassination. There's some things come out. Something one of our good friends actually kind of caught on to as well, and we'll be getting into that, especially on Rumble only. But let's not just mess around anymore, and let's go ahead and start the show.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to your racist. If you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin, they don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election. They got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom and afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock them up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them. He don't have the energy. Y'all want to kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance. Like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, because y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest? Go hard. Wanna burn sites, go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom and afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock them up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm holding my mic with one hand. I'm working everything else with the other. It's all kinds of messed up. Haley, how you doing tonight?
What's up? What's up? I'm here.
Yeah, we got. Oh,
Eats
just shut
What's
up.
happening?
Stop talking. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the. I'm sorry. I'm talking to the video. Because I'm doing things with. I'm like I got one screen, one hand, it's all kinds of messed up today. I done hit myself with things today. It's a bad day.
Sorry, this made me laugh while the song was playing. I was like, he is not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So,
I will admit that there are some other things that have kind of drawn out a little bit of attention away from this as to other things that this has kind of overshadowed for the most part. And I do want to touch on this. There have been some other people that have mentioned it before, but let me go ahead and get that ready for you guys. But all right, first take on this. What do you know about the Florida documents case for Trump?
not much. And it's been a while since I've heard any kind of update, really. You're right. I
Well,
mean, this
good.
has overshadowed a bunch, but yeah, it's been a while since I've been tracking that.
Well, good because well, it ends with this one.
Okay.
Judge tosses documents case against Trump. Jack Smith appointment unconstitutional. Judge Eileen Cannon granted a defensive motion after ruling that Smith was not confirmed in the U.S. Senate and was not U.S. attorney when appointed, could not lawfully bring the indictment against Trump in federal court. In the end, it seems the executive's growing comfort in appointing regulatory special counsels in the more recent eras has followed an ad hoc pattern with little judiciary scrutiny. People, perhaps I can't read. Perhaps this can be traced back to the reliance and the stray dictum in Nixon that perpetuated the subsequent Quake cases. Um, Perhaps it can be justified practically by the urgency of national crisis, and it just keeps going on with the wording in it. But basically, through this whole thing, is they were arguing that since he was never appointed by the president and the Senate never confirmed his appointment to special counsel, he's not special counsel and he has no reason to bring any of these charges up whatsoever because he legally can't. And it was just ruled not too long ago that yeah, he was right. So that way, or in that case, Florida documents case goes, and the Judge Merchan stuff has to be overruled.
But I mean, how does it get to this point? That sounds like somebody just showing up for work at McDonald's that doesn't have a job there that comes in and like gets behind the register and is like, "May I take your order?" I mean, seriously, how does it get to this point where any of it's taken seriously?
I mean, it can't be taken seriously anymore, especially when you have the third in line in the third highest seat in the Justice Department. You know, the Department of Justice, all of it, third highest seat steps down. Michael Colangelo steps down from that appointment to follow these Trump cases everywhere. Like you can't even think this is in any way, shape, or form real. Like this is
Well,
this is a political lawfare.
why did it take this long for this to be determined? I don't
Because
understand.
because Mershon was in on
It
it,
was just covering.
Kaplan was in on it, and Garan was in on it because most of them looked at it as if I convict the former president of the United States that everybody supposedly wants me to convict, then I'm a hero.
Hmm.
You know, Alvin Bragg didn't even want to bring up the charges in New York. And then all of a sudden he was like, no, there's no case here. And then all of a sudden Biden starts doing all these things where he told Merrick Garland to get up off your ass and do something. And then all these cases started popping up. And then Alvin Bragg's just like, okay, cool. I mean, during the Georgia case, Fannie Willis was not ready with that. She spent 3 years getting that together
Right.
and was not ready for any filing. Like they dropped the indictment before the grand jury was ever even convened for it. They dropped the indictment and then they dropped the indictment 2 hours after the Devon Archer transcript was going to be released. They dropped the transcript 2 hours after that indictment was released, and then they backed it up like, hold up, that was a mistake. That was something, don't worry about it. But everybody already caught wind on it. I mean, literally, they had reporters within 3 minutes grabbing it from the site.
Yeah.
How
Right.
do you grab it from the site if you don't know it's going to be there within 3 minutes?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know? So it's a lot of shady dealings that were going on with all that. And it was literally just to cover up the fact that the Devin Archer transcript was released because nobody talked about that. You know, now you got this news dropping, and then the assassination attempt. I feel like the assassination attempt was kind of used to overshadow news like this. So they
Right.
can't tell you, hey, all of our shit, it's all fake, and it's just been exposed.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Interesting.
that's how that actually happened. That the way that played out. Let's see, Judge Engeron and the Letitia James case. Letitia James ran on locking Trump up, like prosecuting Trump.
Yeah.
She ran on that.
Mhm.
Now, in that case, Judge Engeron had a weird nipple fetish.
Oh.
Yeah. He showed
Oh,
his
that's right.
nipples. Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember now.
that dude. His principal law clerk was actually on the campaign staff for Letitia James.
Mm. I
She
think I
sat
remember
right.
that.
She sat right next to the judge during the entire case. Like she was a judge too, and they were passing notes and all types of things together. And it's just like you can't sit there and say that's not really collusion right there in front of your face.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. And the Kaplan situation. Did you know about the Judge Kaplan thing?
Not much about it. Go ahead. Tell me.
Okay, one of the lawyers for E. Jean Carroll, Roberta Kaplan, was mentored by the same judge that court that was over that courthouse or court hearing, right? The other
Okay.
judge or the other lawyer for E. Jean Carroll, the judge was the officiate at her wedding. Tell me that's not a conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There was a lot of shady dealings going on with that, and you got well, there's more to it, but there's no reason. Like Jack Smith was acting a fool in this case anyway. Like she was actually Eileen Cannon was gonna hold him in contempt at one point because he was literally just trying to jump over her head, go over the state Supreme Court, and went straight to the United States Supreme Court. You know, and she was just like she had enough. She was the most fair out of them all, and she was the Trump appointed judge.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, with the Supreme Court ruling about all that and everything that they classified those charges as being null and void. So nobody's talking about that anymore. They're talking about him being the attempt on his life,
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because everybody's talking about what we will be discussing a little bit later on. Because I kind of want to avoid YouTube. I think YouTube's about to get some screwy shit going on because
Yep.
yeah, certain words are not being allowed to be said. They're being stricken from live chat. You can't super chat them anymore. So there are some. Oh, that sounds really echoey. But yeah, there are some changes that are probably be coming to YouTube for all that, and I want y'all to just kind of be aware of what's going to be coming around with something like that because we had a problem in Rob's chat, and others were telling us this was a thing too. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's cue that one up. But I mean, as far as like the Trump trials and everything like that, like how do you feel about the whole situation with all that?
With what now? I'm sorry. I was reading the chat.
With Trump trials and things like that, the whole Trump thing. Him going to
it's
court and all that.
it's just all bullshit. Can I say that here?
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit.
I forget like what platform I shouldn't be cussing at all, but I've got quite the dirty mouth. Yeah, I mean, look, man, this is no different than Russiagate or any of the other things that they've tried, including this past weekend. They're throwing everything at him just to see what will stick. So
I
I'm not
mean,
impressed.
the E. Jean Carroll one stuck.
Yeah, but that was only
Alvin Bragg
because
stuck.
I mean, okay, fair enough. But point being, they're not like these on what though, based on what, like really old. Well, I mean, with the Carol or what's her name, Eugene.
E. Jean Carroll. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's the crazy one that like lived on a little like House out in the Woods, right? The little like I don't know, the crazy lady, but she, things
Yeah,
like
the
that.
one that had the name of the cat that you can't repeat on YouTube or it'll be taken
Uh-huh.
down?
That
Yeah.
one. So for me, it's like, you don't real victims of things like that don't sit on them until somebody is, on a presidential campaign or a campaign of any sorts. If you're a victim of something like that, you handle it when it happens and at the latest, like, I don't know, within a year or so. You know what I mean? Like once the trauma chills out a little bit, it's not something that you sit on and then pull out of your back pocket last minute. So I mean, no respect for that. Now, whether, I mean, you have a point with it sticking, but again, these are things where most logical human beings that would read through that would be like, BS. That's total BS. Like, it's obvious what's going on here. Um,
Right.
but I just mean that they have tried everything. They've got the media complicit with their, they're repeating just total BS for the masses to see. They've had a hate campaign against him, the Russiagate stuff, the phone call stuff. It's been nonstop since he announced he was going to be running late 2014, early 2015. So it's just, at this point, I
Yeah.
think he definitely expects it to come. I think he expected what happened this past weekend, and I'm trying to be careful because I know we're going to talk about that on Rumble, but just saying that I think this was expected. I think, any and every attempt that they, throw at him to attack him by any means necessary, he expects. I mean, he's lived this for nearly 10 years. That's a long time. That's a decade's worth of attacks from all angles. So I think at this point, there are no more surprises for him, even
Oh,
last
yeah.
weekend.
Especially though with the E. Jean Carroll situation, George Conway and E. Jean Carroll actually worked together to get the law changed so she could sue him civilly
Yeah,
for rape.
I remember
Like,
hearing
come
that.
on.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They
Like,
worked
it's
to
just,
do that. And then
yeah, it's
35 years later, you got him in court. Come on.
Yeah, that's my point. It's too obvious to anyone, even if you knew nothing about the case whatsoever and you just said the sentence you just said, people would be like, "What? Come on. That's ridiculous." But yeah, and that's my
Anybody,
point.
any sane, reasonable person, yes.
Yeah, they're bending all the rules. Logic doesn't matter. Who cares? Let's change this law, that law. Let's change, it's he's fought an uphill battle for 10 years, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether or not you like him. You have to look at it even from the outside in and say, wow, like this man has gone through it every single day. What?
Right.
You look
Right.
surprised. What'd you
Definitely.
open up?
I
Something not.
accidentally no, I accidentally just, like, minimized everything on my screen,
Oh,
and I don't
nice.
know how I did it. I pushed a button on
Fantastic.
accident. But yeah, no, I mean,
In one of those
you are
days.
correct. At some point in time, like, do you know what happened to Tara Reid?
I mean, from what she said, I've heard her account of it. What, is there something
Okay.
different?
Well, she fled to Russia, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know she's on that Ukrainian non-governmental organization letter that said that all these people are trying to impede the flow of aid to Ukraine?
I don't think I knew that. No.
Tara Reid, just like Tim Pool, just like
Hmm.
Luke, just like all the other talkers out there who were just saying, keep our money in our own damn pockets.
Hmm.
They're on that list. Tara Reid is on that list. She's closer to the full connection on that list than Tim Pool is. That is just like so a woman who accused Trump or Biden of SA,
Mhm. Yeah.
who had to flee the country because they
Right.
were going to arrest her. She fled the country, went to Russia, and now Ukraine is saying somehow she is trying to impede the flow of aid, your tax dollars, to Ukraine. Tell me how.
It's insanity. It's just insanity.
Mhm.
I don't even know
I
what to say to that.
I don't either. Like, I can't get through it. There's no
Yeah, that's
way I can get past, okay, a woman accused Biden of doing something, fled the country in fear for her life, and now Ukraine is saying she's trying to stop them. Something doesn't sound right.
mm-mm,
But yeah,
that's wild.
they've they've also got a problem coming up on their hands very, very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, the climate cultists are going to be at the DNC. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is actually I'm gonna actually read this for you guys here, but this is gonna be incredibly fun. Big update. We will converge on the Democratic National Committee HQ. We will blockade it. This is coming from Climate Defense. We learned today that the DNC may cheat the process and rush through Biden's nominations starting next week. This is an outrage. Join us at the DNC on Friday. Share widely.
What's the next one say? We scroll down just a little. The Party
The
Elite.
yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
that one.
The
Party
Party Elite
Elite.
know that.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
you want to read or you want me to read? I don't care. I just didn't know if you
Go
were or
ahead.
not. The Party Elite know that Biden's candidacy is on life support, so they are making plans right now to subvert due process and ram Biden's nomination down our throats. We will converge on the DNC to stop this. Sign up, tell everyone.
Yep.
Come on, man. I just don't have the energy for any of these people.
These party elites know that Biden support is falling fast. They realize waiting until convention may kill his candidacy, so they are planning to virtual roll call vote that could start as soon as next week. If they do this, this would be a profound, profound betrayal of the party and base and everything in the party claims to stand for. It would be a blemish on the soul of the party for which it will be impossible to recover. This is beyond outrageous. This is beyond hideous. This would be a stain on the moral fabric of the party and of the nation. This would be an act of treason, yes, treason, so deep that it could create a chasm for which the party would never heal. The party elite claimed that the voters wanted Biden. Absurd. Absurd. There were no primary debates. Some states canceled the Democratic primaries. Incredible candidates were coerced into not running, told it would be a career suicide. It is profoundly, profoundly dishonest to say that the American people chose Biden as their nominee. Party elites orchestrated an elaborate cover up to hide his condition. Lies were told. Dissenters were silenced. Voters chose a version of Biden that no longer exists. There is only one reason the DNC is rushed this roll call vote. They believe Biden's candidacy for the Democratic nomination is so fragile that it could not survive until the convention. If Biden cannot independently make it until August convention, how can he make it until the November election? Never mind until January 2029. How? Biden claims to oppose authoritarianism, yet is now using authoritarian tactics, which, if executed effectively, will cause a full fledged authoritarian to take back the White House. This is a desperate moment. This is do or die. If we do not stop, this, we will get Biden as a nominee and Trump as president. Join us at the DNC this Friday. Mark your calendar. Tell everyone.
There is 100% chance that a female wrote this.
Oh, 100% from the way it was
First of all.
stopping. Yeah.
First of all, she probably had multicolor hair. Stop whining. That was not necessary to have an 11 post thread to say.
Hey, hold on though. Is she wrong?
She's not wrong. No, she's not wrong. But to think that we would have anybody put up beyond, besides Biden, I think is stupid. Like that was from jump. It was going to be him no matter what, unless he died beforehand. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that was always the plan.
Once he died, probably Kamala was supposed to step forward.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that would happen in the last year. I didn't think he was going to make it past year 2. I thought, they were going to get him in. He was going to be just, too far gone to remain in that position. And then, they were going to be like, he's obviously screwed up. Because don't you remember one of the last couple of gaffes he had that was really bad? I guess it was after the debate. And all of the left-wing media was like, oh, my God, oh, what was that? Blah, 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 blah. I thought then, I was like, they're going to just toss him out and go ahead and put her up. And then she will be the next Democratic candidate for president, because they were really like leaning into him not being fit. That was, it surprised me that they haven't.
Well, the way the news media has to do, they have to roll it out for years. Like, I mean, look at January 6th. Everything we know about January 6th, all that shit's falling apart now.
Yeah.
But yet nobody wants to actually look at what real evidence is now coming out. And why? Well, that's because I already know what happened. I saw it. Doesn't matter what you show me now. Damage already done. What's the point? You
Yeah.
know? But it's things like that. But I'm going to be honest. If I could go, I'd go. I'd be like, look, I don't give a shit. I like Trump. Don't really like him. I hate the son of a bitch on a personal level, but he's a better president than Biden. So if he's in, he's going to help us at least go back to where we were. At least give us that. We're close to it. If you don't
But
like him still, that's fine. Because I
you
don't
would
either.
you would go to the climate thing?
Yeah,
For what? What are you gonna say? What would you do?
to join them. Because they're right. How can you call yourself the Democrat Party when you subvert everything of democracy to try to put in your president who nobody fucking wants in the first place?
Yeah.
What is democratic about that? That is actual, well, that's fascism. Well, okay, fascism is the corporation of merger or the merger of corporation and state, but I mean they seem to do that with Pfizer and all that and everything. So now they're just electing their own people.
I
You know,
mean,
they got a super delegate. They can do whatever they want, and the super delegates can vote however they want. They can choose whoever they want. You know, fuck the
yeah.
people, be damned. How is that democratic?
Hey, Davy. Hope you're coming in soon. Maybe you'll get him riled up more.
Why am I much calmer? Because I don't want her to get mad at me.
I'm not. Why would I get mad at you? I just.
See,
Well,
we
who
feed
knows?
off each other's energy. She's just calm, so I'm calm. No, I'm
I'm
actually really
tired.
mad. I'm really mad, but the area around me, I'm in a hotel, and everything's hardwood in here, so it echoes really bad. So I don't
No,
have to talk loud.
he was much different before the intro started. You guys
Oh yeah,
can. I mean, you've seen him before, so you can use your imagination.
oh
But I
yeah.
just stayed cool, calm, and collective, and I was like, everything's cool. Just come on through.
Well, it had nothing to do with you. It was just
I
a
know. I know.
situation I found myself in yet again with all this. Like, here I am. Like, this week was supposed to be like a good week for us, right? He was supposed to come back from his trip. We were gonna have a good showing here, and Thursday we got K Bean, and I wanted to just put on a real good show for K Bean. Now I'm stuck doing this. And I'm
But you
gonna
showed
have to
up.
make it up to her. Yeah, I mean, I got my whole setup and everything here, but I'm gonna have to make it up to
Yeah.
her later. But yeah,
Well, that's the way it goes.
right. But yeah, this is. I'm trying not to. I'm literally talking as low as I can, and I can still hear an echo in the room. That's how
Do you feel
bad
like
it
you're
is.
talking loud?
No,
Do you feel like you're loud? Okay.
no.
You
But
are
yeah, that's
echoey, but you're not like the volume's not loud. I mean, you're good.
okay.
You're solid. You're not like overly, you know,
Right. I
you're
just
just a
can't
little
do
echoey.
anything about the echo without putting a whole bunch of stuff on a hotel
Mm,
wall, and it's not gonna work.
it's not as bad as you think. You're fine.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I don't. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. As crazy as it's been, Davey sent this link in here, and I have no idea what this is. So we're gonna watch this together. What do you put me on blast for? What did I do?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. Y'all
yeah.
all know who you're dealing with. Y'all know who you're going to see when you tune in. This is not a surprise.
No, it's not. I mean, y'all were going hard after me yesterday on my own damn channel, like that
Uh-oh.
voice of the people one,
Okay.
and they were going at me in the chat. It was fun.
For what though? What were you doing that caused all that reaction?
Just bullshit, and they were just trying
Oh, okay.
to embarrass me or get me going with
Oh,
things, and yeah, they were just having
but-
fun with me.
okay.
But yeah, let's go ahead and hit this one up real quick. Like I said, I don't know what this one is, so we're gonna kind of watch this together.
Okay.
It says from Whiskey Hill, you cannot fathom the amount of pressure and dangerous situations linemen have to deal with. The fact that Houston won't protect these folks is utter bullshit. enjoy being in the dark. You voted for this. I'm kind of I'm kind of worried about what this is actually.
As a lineman, this is a message for Texas, specifically Houston, Texas. What the hell are you guys doing right now to the men who came down, who left their families to come help you? Let me give you some examples. I'm going to have to be choicey with the word so TikTok doesn't ban me for it. But let's just start it off. The
Oh,
first thing I want to say is there's 2 linemen in the hospital right now after being given waters by the public that were laced with fentanyl. How sick is that? Second, there's been multiple explosive threats where staging areas and areas where linemen sleep have had to be evacuated. Okay. There's been multiple situations where pews were pulled on linemen. Today, there was 20 linemen held hostage by pews. There's been linemen beaten up. There's been linemen jumped. There's been linemen cussed at, yelled at. Guys, this is sick. And let me go ahead and tell you, there's linemen leaving right now, and there's linemen that will never be back to Texas. And let me tell you, I'm one of them. You'll never see me, Houston. You can enjoy your darkness if you want to treat people like this. You're stopping the people from working. They have to do safety shutdowns when you do this. You're extending your power outage, and you have no clue what's going on. You had 2.7 million customers without power. In 6 days, they have restored with only 250,000 power outages left. Do you realize how incredible that is? Usually, when you reach the 3 million number, you're looking at people without power for 4 to 5 to 6 weeks. Okay? They're doing incredible down there, and they're getting attacked. You know, the most dangerous part of the job of being a lineman is supposed to be the electricity, the thing you can't see. It's not supposed to be in the public. You guys need to do better, but in all honesty, I hope all the linemen leave and you guys sit in the dark, and then maybe you'll realize and have some respect. But this is ridiculous. And let me tell you, like I said, there's a lot of us. The next time this happens, you're not getting help. Figure it out yourself.
okay, Davey. What the hell is this about, brother?
I
Like,
mean,
this
I'm
is
not
not
even
helping
sure.
me. I mean, why are they attacking people down in Houston? You're gonna have to help out from the chat with that one, Davey. Like, I've got nothing for that, honestly. Like I said, I was walking into that cold because that was Davey's thing. But yeah, the amount of emotion on that dude's face, like he is fed up. He's done. He's ready to go. It's
Mhm.
yeah. He ain't going back. Oh,
Well, I mean, no one should, have that much need for security trying to go to work. So whatever's, and I don't have any details either. I don't know what this is about exactly, but just from what he said, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
yeah, I
Um,
did forget. D9N Don.
dun dun dun
I mean, that
dun
doesn't
dun
help
dun
me at
dun dun
all.
dun. Yeah, I don't know about this lineman guy. Obviously, no one should be at that high of a risk to. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. But who? He said the public.
Right.
So, who does
The
that
public's
entail
giving
and
them,
why?
yeah, and then they're out there attacking them and stuff like that too. Like
And
it makes no
he's
sense.
trying he's trying to get the power on. I didn't even know there was a power outage, y'all. I've been out of it for a week, but so there's big major power outages, and he's trying to get the power turned on,
Yeah,
and they're giving him fentanyl and like having pews and stuff. Like, what's that all about?
I mean, unless he's
Like,
kind
are
of referring to how Houston has been relaxed on their
uh-huh.
laws. You know, they've
Well,
released people.
is it immigrants? Like, are we talking about people that are not nationals and do not have proper papers? Because otherwise, nobody in their right mind that's just a resident down there who's out of power is going to be like, oh, there's the person that can fix it. Let's do all these things to him. Yeah, from the hurricane. Okay. I didn't even know there was one. I'm sorry, y'all. I've literally been out of pocket for like a week. I had no clue.
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
sorry.
no. You're good. You're good. But yeah, it just I don't know. I don't know. Like it just it blows my mind. Like you got a point. Like if you live there, you're out of power. Why would you first poison people
Hmm.
and attack them when they're working their asses off to get a mass power outage fixed? It makes no sense.
The only way it makes sense is if you benefit from the power staying off. So if there's a certain group of, the demographic that benefits for the power remaining off, I mean, that's the only way it makes any sense. Nobody in their right mind who relies on, you know, the power would attack the people that are there to fix it. That's silly.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, I mean that could be a thing too.
If they're doing something that outrageous, you have to ask yourself who benefits from this kind of behavior. If they're, if these are like the what am I trying to say? The saviors of bringing back, your power. There's only one answer to who would benefit from keeping it off or killing.
Right.
Obviously killing the people that came to fix it.
Ooh, okay. I mean, okay, but thinking about that, I kind of get it, but I still have to go illegal at that point. Like I couldn't think of anybody else. Like you're without power yourself too. How would you benefit from nobody having power other than to just rob people? But
Right.
you're without power too. So what good is robbing and killing people? You know?
There's only one type of people that would be good for.
Oh, Davey's got a problem. I mean, yeah. California said, "Hey, we're taking all EVs," and then yeah, they were just like, "Don't charge your shit because we can't handle a load." That shit is awesome. I do like that. But oh, there was something else I wanted to kind of bring up too. Oh yeah. Go ahead and tell us about your trip.
Oh, well, what would you like to know? It was very exhausting. Yeah, I'm tired still.
Well, considering it said you walked 44 miles in a week, I can guarantee you it was exhausting. Yes, but I
Can you
mean,
believe that?
I, yes. I mean, considering what you were doing down there, yes.
Yeah, it was a
But I
lot.
mean, what did you get to do? What would you get to see? You were showing me all kinds of pictures. Like, I can't really
Yeah.
bring them up on here, but I don't. Actually, I might be able to.
Yeah, if you've got some, you can show it. I was invited down to Freedom Fest 2024 in Las Vegas. It's a huge convention slash festival. There were many, many speakers. There was over 300 speakers, a lot of the names that you would know, some you might not, but I was one of the speakers on a panel. So I got to go down there. Wrong Speak Publishing had a booth in the exhibit hall where we were selling our books. We've got 3 published works as of today and more are coming. But yeah, so on the days that I was on the panel just one day for, it was like an hour. And on either side of that was the booths that we were running. But I mean, I got to meet a lot of really awesome people. I met Jan Yekulik from Epoch Times. He's the editor in chief there. Met Senator Massey. Thomas Massey was there. I got to meet him. That was sort of my top 2, to be quite honest with you, and a lot of other names that you would know. But did that. I saw Ice-T. I saw Rob Schneider. There was just so many. Spike Cohen. A bunch. But then we got to go to a VIP dinner on Friday night. That was pretty cool. That was right next to the Wheelhouse in Vegas. So the big Ferris wheel. There's a little building off to the side. We had dinner there, and there was like a nice little deck outside, and you could see the Sphere. I went to the Sphere and went inside and got to see a program there. That was cool. But yeah, I mean, I walked and then I walked and then I walked some more and then walked and then took like a nap, got up, did it again. So all my days have been running together and the time difference and all that. But it was awesome. I actually got an email today saying the next one's in Palm Springs. Do I want to come? So I'm excited.
Oh, when is that one at?
All it says right now is a month earlier in 2025. So I'm assuming early June 2025. It'll be a
Nice.
while before we get any fun details on that, but I'm hoping that, I mean, it sounds like they want me to come back, and I hope so. I'd like to go again, meet some more
Well,
people.
I never pulled anything off Telegram, so that would take a little bit of time to bring those photos in. But I
That's
do
cool.
apologize. But no, I mean, what were you on the panel for? What was the panel about?
That's a good question. It was on trans rights, parental rights, and children's rights. The way that they did my panel in particular, they had a bunch of different documentaries and films that had that they were showing in different rooms. So the whole time there would be someone on the main stage. RFK was there. He came on the last day, or I guess it was Friday. But there would be someone on the main stage, and then on like the side rooms, they would have breakout sessions where you could go and listen. So on a bunch of these different rooms, they had the film. So they would run the film, and then in the middle of it, they would have a little panel with experts, and then do like an end cap of a different film. So with my panel in particular, there was a full length film that was shown right before, and it was crazy too because I was following Jan in. He was like, I want you to sit next to me. I'm going to go to you first. I'm like, oh my God, no. But I'm going in with him and it's completely dark. It's a movie theater basically. So it's completely dark. I can't see anything. And I have like really bad night vision. There's sometimes where like I shouldn't drive at night, probably. I cannot see well at all in the dark. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in heels. I'm trying to walk around here in the dark, trying to follow Jan. Can't see anything. But he leads me, up and around the crowd, and we get up on the panel. And the credits are rolling. So the end credits shut off and the lights come on. Panel's there. It was myself, Colin Wright, Lou Perez, who's a comedian y'all might be familiar with, and a guy named Grant Brown, who was the documentarian that was the show that they watched following the panel. So, on either side of the panel were these films. But yeah, so we got asked different questions. Of course, I was there mainly because of my work with What is a Woman? So I'm assuming that's how I got, on the expert level up there, which is really humbling because these are really smart people. But I was super nervous. I got through it, but it was fun. But yeah, so we talked about a lot about the film actually, and some of the takeaways that I had from the film that went into the parental rights. How young these children should be able to make their own medical decisions, and then Grant sort of end capped it with saying it sort of went into parental rights with children. His short film was called 72 Hours. It's on YouTube. It's like 8 minutes long or something, 11 minutes long. But it goes through how these parents had a baby that had gotten hurt and they didn't know how it had gotten hurt. And they took it to the hospital. DSS stepped in, took the child away. And the next, several, I don't know how many, couple weeks, they were fighting to get their kid back. And they had all these different people in their family and friends that were speaking for them. So it was sort of a mixture, but was based around the rights of parents and children, like where that line is drawn. That was really long-winded, but that's what.
Okay. Well, I mean, I understand, but I can see why they put you on that panel. Honestly, I can see why they chose you to be on that because
Aw.
you make some really good logical sound arguments with like parental rights because you are a mother. The trans thing because you kind of went hard in the paint on that one.
Yeah. Well, they
But
asked that
yeah,
too. They said, like, what's one of the main takeaways? I was like, people don't realize this is what I did. This is what I looked at. This is what I researched. This is what videos, testimonies, pictures, images, stories for 16 hours a day for months. And when I came
right.
out of it, I joke around and I call it PTSD LGBTQ, but it is that, like, it really traumatized me in a weird way because that was my life for months, and it's not just adults that we're seeing, go through these procedures, but it's young adults who are starting, early on these medications that they will, and God forbid they go, full bore and go into surgery, but these are lifelong patients, and it's really depressing, and it took a toll on me. What?
Yeah, I mean, I get the way you just put it. You're just like, it's really depressing.
Hmm.
But no, yeah, I get it. And when you really do a deep dive into things like that, not only is it time consuming, it's overwhelming, you
Yeah.
know, and
Like the
it
volume
it takes
alone,
over
Rich,
everything. Yes.
the volume is what was so like overwhelming to me because it wasn't like a couple cases here, a couple cases there. Because of what happened in 2020 and the lockdowns, kids were isolated. They wanted a group, and it's not so much like a gang, but it's similar in that way where they're looking for family and friends to sort of, take them under their wing, where they become part of a group. And when they're locked in their homes, 24 hours a day, can't go to school, can't go to the movies or whatever, go hang out or whatever. They looked for that companionship and that fellowship, and there were communities that were ready to embrace them. And we
Right.
saw a huge spike during that time. and it's only, it's not really slowing down, maybe just a little bit, but there was a huge rise in both male and female young adults that wanted to transition during that time, and I blame it on the isolation.
And I do too. I really do. It was, just like everybody was locked down. Nobody was actually out there able to do face to face things. So things like TikTok took off, and then TikTok was pushing it at that point in time.
Yes,
So it's just like everybody was seeing the attention. Everybody wanted
yes.
that. Everybody fell in line with that to the point to where you got a creation like Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah. Well, you're exactly right. It became something where, let's say you didn't have a whole lot of special skills. Maybe you weren't funny, you were clumsy, you were this, you were that. This is something that you could be that would shoot you to stardom, without, I'm not saying on Dylan Mulvaney's status, but these people started, it became a hate speech to say anything about them. It became, they were a protected class. And so what that
Mhm.
did was rise them above everybody else. So people, these young children that didn't ever feel special in their life could become special overnight and have special treatment. So it's just really sick, and the media pushed it. I feel like it's calmed down a lot this last Pride Month. There wasn't a whole lot of rainbows and labels changing and all that. Not like it had been in past years. So I think we have made an impact and moved the needle a little bit on how much of that was going on. But yeah, I mean these kids just wanted to know that they were important and that they had something to offer the world. And these were communities that were open and willing to do it, and that they would protect them. So they became special overnight.
Mm,
Sad.
yeah. And with all that happened, like anything, just saying biologically you're a man became hate speech. Like
Yeah.
you were saying, it's like you you're pushing trans genocide. You want us all to die, and then you wonder why Nashville happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with the rhetoric that we see with, especially with the attempt on Trump's life. It's the same
Mhm.
rhetoric we see there. That, let's be honest, it caused the man to do that. You called him Hitler. You called everybody Nazis. You said he's a threat to democracy. He's going to take away women's rights. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. What do you expect people to do who have had enough and they're fed up with the games? Especially when they're crazy enough to go ahead and do that, because most of these people are in SSRIs. There's actual study done saying that liberalism is a mental disorder.
Hmm.
It's just you've pushed people to this point, and you keep saying we're the violent ones.
Well, the
Like, what do
media
you
put
expect them to do?
the media put a face on any and everything wrong in their eyes. It was just under this one banner, and his name was Trump. So it didn't matter what it was you were upset about. He was the one. He was the boogeyman. He's the one to aim at. Sorry for that pun, but he was the one to, he was the one to put all of your focus on, because he is the problem. It was like an umbrella of every issue they had underneath him. So he became the boogeyman, and that's what happens when you're not willing to do the work to work out your own problems, or really have some self-reflection and figure where you stand on things. It's much easier to point the finger, say that's the problem, and then there's no work to be done to relieve your actual problems.
Yeah, I mean that's just psychological engineering, though. At its finest, that's like MK Ultra type shit. You brainwash these people into doing whatever the hell you want them to do. You tell them it's okay. You point the finger at everybody else and make them the target so that they get riled up enough to do everything that we've seen them do, including riot for an entire month, killing 30, what was it, 34 people, doing $2 billion in damage before they even stopped counting. They rioted in DC for a month, tried to burn down the White House. Nobody says anything.
Well, hell, they got bailed out, and politicians were saying, "We've got you. We'll spend X amount of money." There were, celebrities throwing money at them, saying, "Whatever you need, get them out of, bail them out, bail them out, bail them out." So it was, and how many did these things? They knew about it. They didn't spend a day in jail. So it was a free pass to act out your violence, to do whatever, and push back. It's sick.
It is. But one more thing before we go to Rumble. Now, JD Vance is Trump's VP to pick now. What do you
Mhm.
think about that?
Well, okay. So, I remember several years ago him being an anti-Trumper, and I was never a big fan of his, so I'm not a fangirl. It's not like I followed him around. I don't live in Ohio, so I don't know a lot about the guy, but I did see a little clip that I guess was some kind of an ad campaign that he had.
Mhm.
It was a very short clip, and I can give it to you if you want to see it, but 2-minute clip, and it's just like sound bites of him talking about how horrible Trump is and all this stuff. And
Mhm.
I've spoke to a couple people about it, and they're like, "Yeah, but that was back in the day, and people can change their minds and so forth and so on." And I'm like, "Well, sure." And then I've also heard people say that JD Vance is really close to Don Jr. and that that's how this all came about to begin with, is because they're close buddies. So beyond that, I don't have an opinion. I do think that people can change their minds, and this from the time that that clip was till now, several years have passed. So it's possible that he's had time to really look at, what he's done as far as with policy and, the public and media's reaction and attacks against him, and has changed
Mhm.
his mind. I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy really to have a real rounded opinion on it, but that's what I do know. What do you think?
Well, I don't I don't know enough to say definitively, but I will say this. Just like you said, people can change their mind. Prime
Sure.
example, me. I hate the man, but I'm voting for him.
Right.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Vote for whatever the hell Biden is? I mean, no.
Right.
Am I gonna vote for RFK? You wouldn't take my guns. You got Shannon Monahan on your side. I don't no. You're
Yeah.
nothing about what I want. The only thing that reflects anything about what I need as an American citizen to survive, to keep paying my bills, to have a comfortable life is tied up in that asshole.
Hmm.
So I will take your mean tweets. I will take you saying Rosie O'Donnell is a fat pig. I don't care.
Facts are
Just make
facts.
sure
So,
that my bills are paid and I have money in my pocket and we're good. And that don't mean
if
like you're
Vance,
paying me off. I'm saying I can actually work making $20, close to $20 an hour in an area where at most to live comfortably you need 15 and I'm still
right?
struggling and my wife is
Yeah.
making almost as much as I am now with her other
Yeah.
job and we're still struggling. Something's off about this.
I
Like you
look at
can't
it
sit there
like,
and tell me any of this is right.
no, I agree. I think that, if Vance gets in there and he walks the walk and talks the talk, I don't care what bad take he took several years ago on anything. You know what I mean? Like I do
Right.
think people can change, and I just want the man to do a good job. And if he proves that, I could care less what he used to say and whatever his favorite drink used to be. I don't care. I just need him to get in and do the job of the people, because that's been my problem for several years now, is watching these people who get elected, running on a certain campaign points, and then they completely leave them by the wayside because lobbyists step in, and that's their god now, and they don't represent the people. There's not I can count on one
Mhm.
hand how many people I feel like in upper government, not so much local. There are some good local people, but for the most part, some of our upper levels of government, they get in and they are no longer beholden to the people. They do not represent their constituents. That's where I have a problem. So as long as he
I
gets
do
in and
too.
does his job, I don't care what he used to do, or I don't care what he does at night when he goes home. I don't care about any of that. Just represent the people and what they want. That's what they voted for, and that's what should happen.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you my theory as to why it was JD Vance.
Okay.
There were several other stronger characters that were
Mm,
in play.
yeah,
I mean, you had Byron fucking Donalds,
I
right?
liked him.
Why didn't
Hmm.
you pick him? Have you ever heard the man speak?
I have.
Tell me full well if you're not like cultist kind of behavior that he wouldn't at least make you think.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him.
Why would he not be VP? Well, what is a VP? It's a cheerleader for the president to sit around and do nothing until the president dies.
Fair enough.
Why would you put Donalds in a position where he's useless?
Fair enough.
The weakest characters were J.D. Vance and Doug Burgum. The only thing J.D. Vance has on his side is that he can be a representative of the United States, The vice president can go to other countries in the world and just be like a young man. He's what, 39, 40 years old? He's as old
He's
as
less
I am.
than 50 is all I know. Less than 50 is what I saw. I don't know how old he is.
He's roughly around my age. A young guy going over to another country and be like, "Look, I know we have fucked with you for a long time.
He's
I
39.
come from a new generation. I am a younger character. I want this whole relationship to change. I want my country to change. Can we back off a little bit so I can fix my shit?" Not in that way, you know. But you don't sit there and think that somebody like Putin or Xi Jinping or Kim Jong Un would be like, "You're young. You have nothing to do with this, other than the country you live in. If what you're saying is true, I'll give you a little bit of trust."
Well, to your point, the vice president has to be a yes man. He has to be a shadow image of the president. So, I mean, I get your point. I haven't quite thought about it that way, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, it would look better, of course, if Trump were to. Of course, Trump's going to deal with Kim Jong Un. He's going to deal personally with Putin. He'll deal personally with Xi Jinping. Like they will meet face to face. But any other person, I mean,
Yeah.
Iran. I mean, why are we still in fucking Syria? But I mean, all that, you know, those kinds of places to just be like, "Look, I know we fucked around too much. Just calm down. We're
Yeah.
going to fix it. We're here now." That's the only thing that man has running for him. Because let's be honest, as far as like his policies and everything, he does kind of vote with the MAGA crowd. But he's only had like a few good questions in hearings that I've listened to.
hmm
And the only thing that I can ever remember this man from is East Palestine.
Hmm.
So when you don't have that big of a presence involved
Yeah.
in the entire nation's public eye, what point would it be to keep you in a senator role when you could be better served outside this country?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Doug Burgum is the weakest character. Just stay where you are. At least we got your vote. Everybody else has to stay where they are because those people are strongest where they're at. I want Byron Donalds on the House fucking floor.
Yeah, I
I
hear
don't
you.
want him sitting there being a cheerleader.
I like it. I haven't quite thought of it that way, but you're exactly right. It makes sense.
It's the most logical choice when you think about it from like a
Mhm.
battlefield perspective. Why
One
would
more
you have
time.
why would you have your best generals out there waging war right there? Why would you pull some of your best back just to be a cheerleader for you?
hmm
The ones that ain't really doing anything, they're holding their own, but the ones that ain't really doing anything, yeah, you come back here, maybe you could be better served somewhere else. You know, you got Vivek Ramaswamy. That motherfucker's he's better as an advisor. I don't want him to be. He could be a good vice president. Don't get me wrong, but he's better to just sit there and be like, "Look, we got this going on. We got that going on. We got this going on. I see it as this way. They're saying it's this way. What do you want to do?"
hmm
He needs to be that kind of advisor role. Like every single person that was in the questioning, other than Nikki Haley, like, did anybody really fucking believe that the dude was going to choose Nikki Haley? Come on.
No, no.
I mean, she was trashing him up and trying to like to goat the man
Yeah.
into shit. No, he ain't gonna choose her. It'd be like a Kamala Harris situation. "Yeah, I think you're a rapist and I think you're racist. We did it, Joe. We won." Hmm. But yeah. But as far as like the JD Vance situation, like vice president, the only thing they're there for is to be a cheerleader. Yeah, they can help a president pick up more votes from a certain demographic because that person that they like is VP now.
hmm
You know, but nobody cares about the VP unless the VP has to step in line for something. And I get it. If something happens to Trump, now you got Vance. Well, Vance has got to choose his own VP too. You know,
Well, how would
I
you
mean, he
feel?
doesn't choose it, but how would I
But
feel?
how would you? Yeah, how would you feel if something like that were to occur? Are you okay with Vance stepping up in that role, knowing as little as we know about him and a little, as little as we will know if he serves as VP. Like, it's not like we're going to get to know the guy.
With him,
I mean, I don't know much about him. Maybe you do, but
I feel like everything's just going to be a full stall type situation, or maybe we backslide a little, and that's it. We're not going to move anywhere with him. So if they can pull back some of the damage that's been done, and then for whatever reason he steps up into the role, I feel like it's just going to be stagnant from that point.
yeah.
I mean, nothing's really going to happen because everybody's just going to be like, okay, just say they do take him out. Everybody's just going to be like, fuck, hold on a minute now, because this changes everything. And they're going to hold back and wait, and they're going to see what we do. The world's not going to fuck with us if they take that man out. They're going to see what we do at that point. We hold the power right here, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that just happened, like I've been saying, I would love for somebody to give me a strong argument as to how everything we have not seen is treason. I don't think anybody can say it's not in any way. This is how the CIA commits coups in other countries to destabilize them so we can move in and do whatever the fuck we want. And they're doing it right here in your homeland. And I said that when, you were doing your live too. Like, I was just at work. I had to pop in there and I had to get that off my chest. But, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go to Rumble here. We got some things we need to get into. Haley found something interesting, and there is a good little theory that's popped up about the shooting, the snipers on the roof, and maybe Trump knew. But, ladies and gentlemen, you got 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.